Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Royal News Network Saturday morning live stream. Oh my goodness. Ah, definitely my allergies, guys, have been acting up a bit today. I do apologize. So, welcome to Saturday morning. We do a live stream every Saturday morning on this channel. So, want to welcome you here. It's just a great opportunity to catch up with all the royal news throughout the week because there are so many things going on. If I can stop sneezing. That it really makes sense to kind of do the sort of, you could almost call it a wrap up on Saturday of all the major news stories. Some of them I didn't get to, some of them I did. So this is an opportunity just to check out everything. And we have some really, you could say, interesting things. I feel like Meghan is attempting to gear up with something for as ever. And I am as skeptical as ever because it seems like as never. So we will look into that. We also have, of course, let's see, what did I right up in there? Guys, I was at a wedding last night, so my brain's a little fried this morning. I do have to admit. But we also have Catherine Williams' dog has had puppies, believe it or not. I think that's super duper exciting, like so exciting. And then we also have, let's see here. Let's look at the post. And Meghan's trying to promote her podcast, weirdly. And we also have a royal who might be kicked out of the US out of her program. So lots of things going on. Questions about Netflix, so many different things. So let's go ahead and get into it. But we do have two super chats here. We have Cheryl T in Oklahoma. Good morning, Brittany, Miss Pippa, Arnon Peeps, Goose, Vinny, Misty, and Foster. Fern say wolf, and Squeaky the cat says meow. Of indifference. A new book by a butler of Her Majesty the Queen has a September release date. What will it be? I haven't heard that yet. So that's an interesting thing. New book by butler to the Queen. The Royal Butler. Okay, My Remarkable Life in the Royal Service, Grant Herald. So that book will be released, or at least that's what the first thing I see, August 2025. So that's a new one. That's very exciting, very interesting. We'll see what that means. But I feel like so much of let's say, the complaints over the last several years have been about Harry and Meghan. So there will be a decent amount in there, or at least some in there about that. And it's going to be kind of a cool examination, hopefully. We also have John Massoud, who said her brand has been on life support for a year. Thank you so much, John, for the super chat. And yes, the brand is not looking good. And I did the video last night, and it's true. Like, the move she did on Instagram yesterday, that was a move of desperation. That's an aberration from her previous kind of ways of promoting things. And I think it's almost sort of important to go over what should have been done so that people can understand how poorly Meghan Markle has managed this. Because that's the thing. Throughout all this, regardless of what you think about Meghan, this has not been well run. This business has not been well run in the slightest. And it's only limping along basically because of her title and the media interest, you could say, and nothing else. That's like the only reason it's limping along. Other than that, the business is terrible, in my opinion. So, oh, my goodness. So let's go ahead and start with the as never. So there was an interesting piece in the Daily Mail, and it was one of those subscriber Daily Mail pieces talking about just like how like nobody knows what the heck is going on with as ever. It just seems to be as never. And there is another piece that we may go into. It's like 16 ways Meghan Markle broke royal protocol, because I think there is an interesting thing the Daily Mail is doing is going back through old like pieces about Meghan and really building, you could say, the rise and fall of Meghan Markle. That's sort of what it's building to. And I find that super fascinating. And so sometimes I can't find what I'm looking for here, but it's just when you look at Meghan's brand, something is clearly going wrong because she should have her brand out there for all of us to see at this point. We should have more products. Where are the products? It doesn't make any sense. It's like makes zero sense. Like where is the product? Because it's one thing to put the product out and then you have to restock and then put more out. And we all know, or all figure pretty much, that the the she didn't make a lot in the first batch. I think everybody has determined that. Like, by the time that her email went out, most things were sold out. They were bought a lot by news people. And there was something this week that I meant to talk about, which I haven't, which I thought this would probably be a good platform for as well, is that Meghan is utilizing like random people who have been posting as ever stuff. Like she is putting it on hers. And I'm like, how did you even find this stuff? It's so weird. It's so like, why are people posting this now? And there was one piece this week where she posted, and let me pull it up here because it's going to take a second, but I think it's so worth it because she pulled up this piece and I'm like, why are you posting this? I can't even tell what the brand is. It was just literally a thing of strawberries. It was just a thing of strawberries. And so it's just like you can just see the sort of, I don't know if you want to call it the tension, but the lack of strategy is like unbelievably apparent. She has no clue what she's doing here. And if she has help, she's clearly not listening to it. Because there are simple things you can do to definitely make things sort of better. And it's just not there. I don't know if she's not finding the support that she wants. I don't know if there's other issues coming into play, but I just saw the picture and I'm like, okay, so if I'm Joe Blow on the street and I saw that, I was like, I would be like, how in the world am I supposed to get American Riviera, or I even said American Riviera Orchard? How am I supposed to get as ever from that? That doesn't make really any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Oh my goodness, guys, we do have a guest here. Say hello to Miss Pippa, everyone. Hopefully she looks good in HD. What do you think, Miss Pippa? Do people see you well? Do you see? You gotta look. You gotta look. Okay, they're up there. Do you see them up there? They're over there. Do you see them? Do you see them? Does she look good? Oh, Miss Pippa, you're not in focus. Here, let's make you in focus. There we go. Look. Oh, sweet girl. Sweet girl. Sweet girl. Yeah. She likes coming up and saying hi. Oh, she's so cute. Sorry, I get to look at her in the computer, which is fun. I was like, oh, she's the cutest, isn't she? Sorry, guys. This has been a bit of a wild live stream. Little puppies come up are so sweet. So yeah, Meghan is kind of all over the place. And when it comes to her brand, that just, I think, sends a really messy message to people. Right, there we go. I'm still trying to figure out who the heck is like these people posting random as ever things on social media like months after. Like the thing with products, like meal products too, it's like how hasn't all this been used before? Like why are we doing it now? And of course I can't find the picture of what I'm looking for. But I took a screenshot of it and I'm like, ugh. It was just a plate basically of cut strawberries. And when I thought about it at first, I really thought initially that it was about her crepes or something. And then I was looking at it and going, oh, no. Wait. This is about the flour sprinkles. But it's so like, you can't even see really the flour sprinkles. And so it's like, it doesn't make any sense. So it's just one of those things where Meghan doesn't know how to market this. There is a way to market as ever, and I think market it well, but it's not doing well. And I want to say, Blanche says, rumors Netflix with Love Meghan getting a third season would be like shocking. But Hollywood is filled with dumb people right now, to be quite honest. Hollywood is filled with a lot of dumb people making a lot of stupid decisions. I mean, even the decision for With Love in the beginning was not a great season, but they decided to make two. But they're also invested in this mess. Netflix is attached to this mess. Like in her email from As Ever, one of her emails, it includes Netflix. Includes As Ever LLC with Netflix. It's like Netflix is now fully attached to this mess. And It's like, why aren't they running this? Because she clearly has no clue what she's doing. She has no clue what she's doing. And like Jen F said here too, her whole business relies on people liking her. That's why it's failing. Exactly. Exactly. The whole brand depends on people liking her. And then also at the same time, wanting to buy into like the sort of lifestyle that she's selling. Well, number one, the lifestyle that she showed in With Love Megan is something that most of us cannot afford. Most of us cannot afford the lifestyle Megan was shilling in that show. And then at the same time as well, none of us can, like, we don't live in California. No, some of the things she was showing us, I'm sorry, they were like more personal to her. They were not something like broadly we could all go, yeah, we can get into this. And we all know at least some of it was like completely and utterly fake. She doesn't know her friends that well, her alleged friends that well. And she's acting like she is being this great hostess and this homemaker and all these sorts of things. But when we actually like, when you listen to her talk, she talks a lot about getting takeout and making it look pretty. She talks about going out a lot. And then she says in the freezer are her kids' chicken fingers. So it's like, is she really making them homemade meals every night? Like, I understand totally that kids are picky. And so I'm not like completely surprised that there are chicken nuggets, but I am a little at the same time because some people definitely for sure are able to make things that their kids like. So, what this tells me is that Megan's whole premise of her lifestyle brand is sort of based on a lie. And because it's based on a lie, I just don't think it's going to be that successful at the end of the day because I don't buy into this lifestyle that she's shilling. I don't think she lives it. Like, who does she have over? Let's be honest. Like, she did have, let's say, a couple of Hollywood executives over the other night, that included the Pelts and Beckhams and everything. But did she make that meal herself? No, I'm sure she catered it. Now, that's not surprising, but Megan made a whole show and a whole big deal about making things, homemade things, teaching her friends how to make food. And yet, when push comes to shove, she doesn't make the food. I think that's something very much to keep in mind when it comes to Megan is that the whole premise of the show is based on, I think, a lie about her lifestyle. Like when she was making that Chantilly Lily thing for the for on her Instagram, it was not for her family. It was for the New York Times. They were coming in to see her. That's why she was making it. That's why she filmed herself making it. It was for the New York Times article. She didn't make it just because she wanted to make it for her kids. No, no, no. She made it for the New York Times. And then you think of the leprechaun waffles. Was she really making that because that's what she really wanted to do? Or was she making it for simply Instagram? I mean, her kids got a different waffle than she did, by the way, which is kind of weird when you think about it. So it's sort of so many issues kind of wrapped up into one. And then you have the addition of the brand itself, which again, we have a disconnect. One of the things I've talked about, which I think is really kind of important to remember, is that As Ever is sort of should have been probably With Love Megan, or her show should have been As Ever Megan, because now you have two competing brands. What's With Love and what's As Ever? Because she's sort of kind of subtly shilling As Ever products on her show, but she doesn't ever mention the brand name or the actual products. She has the flour sprinkles is the only thing that comes to mind. She did make shortbread cookies, but she didn't have the boxes for it. She didn't have the branding for it. She didn't have anything for it. And so you have this massive disconnect. What's With Love and what's As Ever? Because Megan started off the year sending off her social media posts with As Ever and then has subsequently dropped that pretty much. She's not doing it anymore, which, goes to show me that she wasn't really ever committed to the bit because she didn't really keep with the bit. And then you have sort of the second thing, which was all these different products that are kind of pedestrian. So oops, sorry. The problem with Megan's products, and I've talked about this a lot, is that there's nothing unique or interesting about them. They besides maybe just maybe the crepe mix and the shortbread cookie mix, There's nothing that differentiates her stuff from basically anything else on the market because she entered into a very saturated market. And the point of this is the reason people should buy her products over what you can get in any grocery store in the world is that she should be able to say what the lifestyle is and why you should buy into it. Like, what is the lifestyle? What makes it more beneficial for me to wait and save my money to buy a 9-bottle jar of spread than it is to go to the store and buy a 4-bottle jar of it that's bigger with also basically the same spread. So Meghan has failed to do that, I think, on multiple levels. And when it comes to her lack of stock, like you combine those things together, it's just getting to the point where I think for most people, it's just confusing. It's like, where is the stock? Why is it taking you so long? What's the issue? And I think that's sort of starting to grate on a lot of people because it's like, I feel sorry for the people who were actually genuinely interested in the brand and wanted the products because they were like, really liked Meghan's show or they like this and that. And I mean, you got to go back too for the business sake. It's like, why didn't the brand launch the same time as the show? I mean, you have competing names, which is again, it's dumb. But you had that. And oh my gosh, her brand should have just been called With Love. And it could have been all about getting kind of that not you don't have time to make jam yourself, but you can get kind of this homemade jam and it's with love. That would have been so much better than what she came up with. My goodness. Anyways, so she has these products that are incredibly pedestrian in an oversaturated market. And she really has done nothing to differentiate her products from basically anything else in the world. And she was going to get the initial interest, but the people who really wanted the brand couldn't get the brand because it sold out. And she did something sort of weird where you could only buy the keepsake jar of the jam. You couldn't buy just the jam. And it said on the jam coming soon, but it's been months now. Like you would think the one thing she would make sure to restock quickly is the jam because the longer you go between like drops, the weirder things get. And she hasn't even established herself what the actual, let's say, kind of system is. And I think I like this one. Grit says, I thought everyone was invited to the table. Where's my dang invitation? That's the thing. She sent out the invitations late. Her site was live at like not like a little after 9 o'clock, and she didn't send the email until 9:15. Well, people like me who watch this space, I checked my phone and the website at 8 o'clock because I thought, well, that might be the first time it comes out. Then I was checking it towards 9 o'clock. I almost missed it. Then I saw that the things were live and grabbed things up really quickly. If you're waiting for her email, because she said, if you sign up for my email, you're saving your seat at the table, and then your seat wasn't saved at the table, I think that would grate on people, especially those who are really interested. Like, why did you send it out so late when things were already flying off the shelves? And yes, granted, I think that flying off the shelves is a bit of a misnomer because I think she had a very, very small stock. And why isn't there more? Like her stuff wasn't entirely organic. I have it. None of it was supremely all that good. And so it's like, why is it taking so long? It should not take this long at all. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid being sniffly into the mic, guys. So Alienated says maybe she'll restock along with season 2. Yeah, but it's too long. I think Gretchen the first here is right. She couldn't even do the scarcity marketing right. Exactly. She didn't do it right. There's a way to do the scarcity marketing tactic, but you should re-up your stock within, I would say, a couple weeks. You shouldn't be waiting months, especially for something that okay, what Meghan, I think, is trying to get to and why this whole thing has failed so badly is that she's trying to emulate somewhat, I think, luxury brands. So when it comes to, let's say, Louis Vuitton, a huge launch that happened with Louis Vuitton, I think it was this year, was the Murakami. If you remember in the early 2000s, they had the multicolored logos like LV and everything on the bags, and they were white or black, and they had multicolored LVs, and they were huge. So they relaunched with the same designer, and he added some new things to the product line. And so basically everything in that collection sold out like immediately. Like, people were already putting their orders in months in advance for what they wanted, and they had to wait a while to get the items. But that's because there's a limited stock, and they're leather goods. And so because of that, like Louis Vuitton, like if you go onto Fashion File right now and you search for any of the Murakami stuff, it will be, you know, I would say 500 to 1,000 plus more on Fashion File than it would have been on the Louis Vuitton website. That's because there was such a scarcity and those items are going for so much. And so because of the scarcity tactic, it rises in price. And it behooves Louis Vuitton, and they're actually moving in this direction, is to make very limited stock. So Hermes makes very limited stock of like a Birkin. You actually have to you have to be invited to make a wish list to get on the list for a Birkin. And it might take you months or years to get that Birkin. And there's a cachet there. And the thing about luxury goods as well is that they keep their value. You can resell them on the secondary market, especially when it comes to Hermes for quite a bit. They because of the scarcity of the items, they resell for a huge amount of money. As ever is not that. Number one, they're food products. You can't really resell food products that you have used. Like that's like no bueno. That doesn't work. And like the only thing you could maybe resell is the tea because you could take one tea bag out and like resell the rest. Like that's the only thing I could think of. I don't think that would cross any lines really, but you take a risk if you buy it. They are like nothing that's super unique or interesting. It's not like champagne or something like that, which can hold its value depending on where it was made, how it was made, and all these sorts of things. It's like those things can hold value and be, I think, very much the scarcity marketing tactic could work. But her stuff didn't resell at all. Like Gretchen the First says here, an interesting note about as ever, if her products were so hot, why did nothing wind up on eBay or on other resale sites? Exactly. There wasn't even enough stock for people who are looking to poach and resell for a higher value for them to even get it. Or maybe they didn't even care. I mean, again, the challenge is that it's food products. Those things do not hold their value the same way a luxury piece would. And so I think when you look at the whole history of sort of Meghan and how she got here and everything, it's just blah. And she's running the completely wrong game because here's like we've heard that she's kind of wants to do like sort of seasonal launches type thing. What she should do is like everything should be paired together, could say. Like how she gave it to influencers in this nice wooden box or something. She should actually sell it that way. Sell it as a package deal. You have to buy one and it's everything. And you get everything you need for a particular season or something like that. Like none of the products, like there's so many ways, guys, to make this more interesting than it is. I don't get it. Like if any of you guys understand what she's trying to do here, please let me know. I'm just so incredibly confused. So incredibly confused. I'm like, what? Yeah, Think Beautiful says almost 2 weeks ago she posted, "We've been quietly crafting something special. Stay close. We're so looking forward to sharing it with you." Clearly acknowledging the delay, and it's still not here. Yeah, she did something this weekend. Oh my gosh, guys, the food puns are starting to kind of drive me crazy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The food puns are starting to making me a little bonkers. But this is not a food pun, actually. If I think about it. But instead, it's something else. Oh, I like Laner says, "I'm with you, Brittany. I'm confused." Also, yes, I'm just confused. Yeah. And Carol says, if you're going to have seasonal launches, you need to have basic package of products that are offered all the time. Exactly. So if she is going to have, I think, a staple collection of products, like there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I think that can 100% work. But what are the staple products? What are the seasonal products? Like there, I don't get it. Like there's nothing. And granted, maybe I'm overthinking this, but I honestly like I'm just trying to understand, to be quite honest. I'm like, as a consumer, I'm actually willing, guys. I'm more than willing, you could say, unlike other people. I don't like to just straight hate. It's like I'm willing to give her sometimes the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, okay, make me want to invest, like, the best thing Megan could do is turn her haters into consumers. Now, I consumed in order to review, but make me want to reorder her products. I mean, that's what she should be doing. It's like, make your product so stinking good that even your haters want to reorder it. They love it so much. And she's not doing that. None of it is particularly interesting, or like something like, yeah, it's like none of the things that I got would I ever want to reorder. They just weren't good. They were, "Okay, I like the hibiscus tea," but really it's just average. It's just average. So, let's look at this. And this is also what drives me bonkers. So, guys, this picture right here, so this was actually the picture that was on the, like, prototype as ever site before she officially announced the change of name. So, this was probably made for as ever. And you'll notice something as well, guys. There is no marketing for as ever here whatsoever. There are no as ever logos here. Without it being on the as ever official, you would have no clue what this picture is referencing. And this is just basically a simple marketing thing. This is a simple marketing thing. Where is your branding, Meghan Markle? Just because it's a nice picture doesn't mean it has any branding. Like, she has like a thing of jam here, but like that bowl's probably empty. Like, this, we all know this is probably totally and completely BS in her kitchen. Yeah, her kitchen looks incredibly dated. I'm sure she could, again, smash it and remake it if she had the money to, which she obviously does not. But why even post this picture? You don't have any of your products there. You're not even using them. She's not even using them, guys. We have no indication whatsoever that even Meghan Markle uses her own products. And that's just, again, simple marketing. And look, we have these too. Pure joy in every petal. Okay, are those the petals in your flower sprinkles? I don't think so. I don't think so. Care Bear gave a super chat. Why, thank you so much, Care Bear. I really do appreciate it. As I go on my business marketing branding rant, because this kind of stuff, I don't know why, it drives me crazy, guys. It drives me crazy because she has all the resources to make the best stuff. Khalid says her brand is mediocre at its worst. It is. It's mediocre. And the thing is, she has all the resources in the world to make this thing the best thing possible. And she doesn't. So these are these the petals in her flower sprinkles? If not, I don't understand why this picture is here. And then we have to go steep dreams instead of sleep dreams, steep dreams instead of sweet dreams. There we go. I'm like, sleep? No, that's not right. But those guys are not even the bags she uses. That's not even, guys, that's not even her own tea from her brand. Why isn't she using her tea that she sold? Not one she created herself. Like, I can say maybe that's a hibiscus tea, but I don't really know. Why don't you use your own hibiscus tea from the tin, Meghan Markle? Yeah, it's Carol says it is true. Both her Instagram accounts lack social media strategy. They do. They have no social media strategy. And yeah, and Babette says, "You're kidding. That's not her tea." No. Hold on 1 minute. We're here real quick, guys. I ended up actually disturbing Pippa, everyone. She ended up like running. I guess she was sleeping behind me. I got to get a separate camera on to watch her sleep behind me. So, guys, let's see. Hold on. So this is Meghan Markle's actual tea, everyone. This is a hibiscus tea that we get as consumers. And this is the one she is posting about. So it's not the same tea. It might have different properties in it. I don't know. But I'm like, why aren't you showing your tea? Like, here's your tin. Like, why aren't you doing this? This is, again, just simple business marketing things that you should be doing. She's like, there's nothing actually on her Instagram account that shows her brand. And Of course, we have the happy anniversary to our founder, Meghan. As if Meghan's not posting this. Guys, the only person we know for sure works at As Ever is Meghan Markle, and that is it. We have no clue who else works at Meghan at As Ever, the company. So literally, she's wishing a happy anniversary to herself. It's just kind of crazy. Gemini says, I'm still waiting for my order, Australia. Yeah, like, I think some people from international places somehow managed to get some because I think those are the couple people who have posted recently. But I'm like, why are you posting it now? Oh, Kathy Clark says Pippa is a sweetie. She is. She honestly is very much. Okay, so just looking at all this, like the strategies all over the place. Now, there's kind of an interesting comparison maybe that you can make here to, well, not really, but like there is a company that does not actually show any of its products on its Instagram. And that is the Row. So this is Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen's brand, like luxury brand, and they've always done this. So, I guess there's a bit of their fashion show there. But they show like what is inspiring their work, not necessarily they have some pictures of their work, but not that many. But this has been very much always their how they've done things. And I think for them, it works because it's a bit avant garde, you could say. And I feel like it works for them. But Meghan Markle has a totally different thing, which is that she's trying to pitch it as a lifestyle brand, basically. But I don't know what the lifestyle is because I don't think she lives it. She shows us a bunch of times her not using her own products. So yeah. Carol says the Row Instagram account shows showing inspiration for their work. Yeah, that's my understanding. The Row is kind of a luxury. It's kind of encompasses a quiet luxury trend, and it's always kind of been that way. So they haven't done really the normal things other brands do. They do things their own way, but it makes sense, and that's how Mary Kate and Ashley have always run it. So it's sort of, to me, it works. Creative Chaosify says the strategy is to post cutesy pictures of Meghan, not to promote any brand. You're not seeing the wood for the trees. It's not a serious business, but a hobby for a self-absorbed woman who married rich. I agree with that. But the thing is that she's trying to pitch it as something that is impressive and something people should buy into. And it's just like, wow. And I feel sorry for the women who are immensely talented, who do things online all the time, who don't get the recognition Meghan does. And Meghan just puts out just crap content all the time. It's just so incredibly bad. And it's like, and you just got to think too, Netflix signs on to this. Kristen said, what was the product that made you gag? That was the greatest. It was the peppermint tea. I actually liked the hibiscus. This is a hibiscus. I just got it because it was, I think, what she was actually doing. But the hibiscus I liked. The peppermint tea should be burned. That should be burned far away from me or anyone else. It's sort of supposed to taste like peppermint. It tastes like, is like so strong. I had my mom smell it, my friends smell it, my sister smell it. Like, it's like, oh, peppermint. The King's tea, so the high grove tea, has this very like soft infusing of peppermint where you kind of sip it and it kind of, the peppermint kind of infuses into your mouth. It kind of gently blooms in your mouth. That, I know that sounds weird, but that's kind of how it goes. But Meghan's was like terrible. Somebody asked, interesting, how's the Flamenco Estate Instagram? That'll be interesting. Just to compare. So here we go. So it shows products. Oh, and they were actually working with Highgrove. Guys, this is Highgrove. Today we're at Highgrove, King Charles's home in Gloucestershire, Southwest England. As part of our partnership with Burberry, we walked the garden for hours looking at the plants. I was especially excited by the flowering azaleas in the topiary garden, and then set to draw the garden with British artist who did the work for the new Burberry collection. So it's been a joy to be in the company of the people who love heritage, nature, and design. It's why Burberry collaboration holds a special place in my heart and why I love the Burberry team. Also, they say King Charles is known as a climate king for good reason. It talks about all his things that he's done for the climate. So I love that. But you're showing the products, you're showing the people behind. Let's see. These are We deliver flowers across LA, so that makes sense. So we're kind of getting a mix here. I don't know, that may be the founder guy. I don't know exactly who that is. Question of, it's always a question of how much do you show the founder versus the products. But we have a decent amount of, like, this is mostly focusing on products here. And I mean, I'll be totally honest, guys, when it comes to me, and I like, because this is on Royal Fashion News right now. I have not been the greatest sometimes at, I think I'm gonna stick with this for Royal Fashion News. I'll have the little crown in the corner, but I've tried different things, but I feel like my stuff ends up looking kind of messy. Like, I've tried different things to kind of make the fashion side work a bit better. And then I've done this before too. These were more video type things. So I've like done a lot of things. So my feed looks messier than it should, to be quite honest, but you know, that's kind of part of you could say, the learning process. Anya D says, Brittany, you keep thinking like a businesswoman. Meg isn't. She wants to pay for her delusions to keep going. That's all. Not a commercial success. People who smile and play along get to stay. Yeah. I mean, it's 100% there. Yeah, you're right. I know I'm thinking too much about this. I'm thinking of this too much like a businesswoman and not enough like a self-absorbed narcissist to really understand the brand. But this reminds me of what I used to do when I was a kid, and we had like this little display, and me and my sister would make like, we made like these bead like lizard things, and we made a couple of things like friendship bracelets, and we attempted to sell them in our local community, and it went okay. But this is what reminds me of. But it's sad that Meghan, who has, again, so many resources to actually make something good, here's the thing, she can make it good. There's a way to make this good, but she doesn't want to. And it just boggles my mind, guys, to be quite honest, because she wants to be success. She wants to be a billionaire so incredibly badly, but she's missing all the factors necessary to make herself a billionaire. And I think because of that, she'll be perpetually always sort of somewhat miserable, because she's always striving for something she can't achieve. And I'm sure, I have no doubt she could be like, she could make her and Harry into billionaires, maybe, but she doesn't have the skills, and Harry definitely doesn't have the skills. And so you just have a wild mess of them together. So, but thank you so much, Anya, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. And I know I saw elsewhere somebody talking about how maybe they're trying to sort of reiterate her friend Abigail Spencer's flower thing, because she's done a lot of flowers recently. And it's like, I mean, that could be true, but again, like, where's the brand? Like, the brand is all over the place. It's all over the place. She doesn't have a clear vision, and like, she literally went with her backup plan. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a backup plan and utilizing it when you're like designing a business. Of course, it's sometimes what happens, but she should have had to make this thing like successful. You had to have more lead time. You can't just go kind of whiplash to your backup plan. And this is why she couldn't really totally promote her products in her show, is because they weren't ready. They just simply weren't ready. I mean, it's quite staggering how badly Meghan has bungled this entire thing. And we'll see where it leads, but honestly, I just think overall, it's a failure. It's definitely a failure. We have Darnie Blackwood became a YouTube member. Why, thank you so much, Darlene. I really do appreciate it so much. It's so fun. I'm hoping to have something for you all next week. So, and we're pretty close to having, I got some more of the mock-ups for the merchandise. I got them this week. So the notebook is available, but some of the other things will be available here pretty soon as well. Because some things I'm like, yes, I am. I'm good with how it ended up, type of thing. All right. So Princess Goose says Meghan's a rock star in her mind and Harry's, at least back in the day. I think Harry sees through her now. I think he does too. I think he's sort of aware now that what she was telling him was sort of all BS at the end of the day. And he fell for it. And that's his fault. Demetra says, "Do you think she realizes how badly she's feeling?" Well, I think again, if you missed my video yesterday, I have to say, guys, it was kind of annoying for me because I like went to the wedding and everything, and for some weird reason, like YouTube was not showing me how well the video or how good or bad the video was doing, and so I couldn't tell. Okay, so actually, what's kind of interesting is that the story is already down. And I swear she didn't. When did she post it yesterday? Oh, she posted it pretty early yesterday. So it would make sense that it's already expired. But she did put out a couple stories yesterday. And the first story was like, "Well, you'll enjoy my talk with Cassie." Somebody actually put in the comments on X or YouTube, I can't remember which, that her friend actually didn't, or the person she interviewed actually didn't like being called Cassie, and she still called her Cassie. And she's, of course, talking into the phone, and her head's chopped off. And like she does, I don't know why she does this. Well, here's actually my recording of it in case you all missed it. So let me show you here. Here it is. So this, like, her chopping off her own head again. So this is like she smiles a lot here. She's like trying to be like, so she's almost trying too hard. And I think this is because she knows it's flopped and she's getting a lot of pressure from behind the scenes. So I think actually this is an indication, this video is an indication that she knows it failed. She knows it's doing poorly. And so she's kind of being forced to kind of do this. And she's kind of bright-eyed going, "Watch this, watch this, watch me." And it's just not working. Like this went up yesterday and it's like too little too late. Her show ends next week, guys. It like literally ends next week. So it's like, where do you think you're going? It's not going to go the place you wanted to go. And so let me see if it worked at all with helping her, the episode kind of claw its way up to anywhere. I think it was, oh gosh, it was maybe 100 last night. Yeah, it's still at 100 for episodes for This Is Just Business. When it comes to top shows and when it comes to business, let's see, she was at 60 yesterday. I think 60 something. So she managed to claw her way up to 37 with that little stunt, but still that's 37, or maybe that's about where she was. I can't totally remember. I want to say she was at 100, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just 50. Either way. Sorry, I'm trying to like see if like, do I know anybody? All this to say, guys, this is on Apple Podcasts. If you look at it, all this to say is that the show has not done well and she has to know it at this point. And so this was sort of a very, very too late Hail Mary trying to get people to watch or listen. And the thing is for Meghan is that she's totally behind the times when it comes to podcasts. There's no video component to it. Everybody has a video component now. So that she doesn't makes her look exceptionally lazy because she didn't take the time to actually make a video. She was even on the Jamie Kerr-Lima podcast on video. Like, and somehow Meghan's, she's too much of a precious flower to do video, apparently. I do a couple of videos a week by myself. There's zero excuse for her. I'm sorry, there's zero excuse. There's Zoom, all sorts of things. And and I'm on Dan's show every week. Like we film it, like, seriously, how can she not do that? It's crazy to me. And I can't remember where I was going with the next thing. But anyways, she has to know that this thing has failed. She has to know, and that's why she did this Hail Mary, but it's way too late. She also did a sort of, if you like, she also attempted to, again, get us to watch her podcast by showing us a background video of her photo shoot for the podcast. Again, this shows actually how frivolous Meghan is that she can't get people to watch her podcast. And instead of actually trying to pitch her podcast, showing new clips of it, explaining different things, and trying to actually tease it, because all she says is basically like, we're the same as we were 20 years ago. Like, how does that help me get interested in your podcast, Meghan? Like, newsflash, it doesn't. Because The thing is, what she should have done is share like one thing that she learned every week that she really loved, or one thing that she took away that she put into her business, or something. She's not doing any of that. And so her answer to nobody's watching your podcast is, oh, they want to see me have multiple outfit changes for a really crappy photo shoot for my podcast because I hate the picture they chose. And so, like, it's so incredibly ridiculous. And it's like, this should have been something like, it still would have been a bit, let's say, self indulgent. But like, why didn't you do this week one? Where was this on April 7th? I think the show launched April 8th. I just remember it because I was actually flying out April 8th to go to the UK. Why wasn't this out on April 8th or April 7th? Why didn't you tease this then? Why is it week 7 plus of an 8-week series? Where is the substance? She can't even herself share any substance from the podcast. That shows you how devoid of it is, which is why nobody's watching it. Nobody's watching it because instead of actually learning anything about business, they get this. That's what they get. That's what they get. That's all they have. So no wonder nobody's watching it, Meghan Markle. And of course, again, she does herself zero favors. Zero favors. Marilyn says, hi, Brittany. Love your videos. You make so much sense. Why, thank you, Marilyn. Lady Saucy Minx says, thinks she's struggling to separate the business side from the personal side, which is a reflection of her charity and public outings, i.e. hanging on her husband at IG, inappropriate clothes in Nigeria. That's actually a good point. Meghan can't really separate this idea of there should be a personal and a professional side. And you can let things bleed over a little bit, but you really do have to keep things separate. Like that's what I do with my channel, guys. I don't really tend to try to go too much into like my personal life or some of my personal beliefs and stuff like that because I try to keep some of that stuff out of this because it doesn't really apply. And now I tell you my personal beliefs about history and royalty because oftentimes those things do apply. But I try to be as like politically neutral as possible. Although some people, no matter no matter what I say, they think I'm shilling for either side. So I almost feel like that's a mark, though, a badge of like honor that people claim that I'm either side of the aisle. Cause then I'm like in the middle because you guys people get different things. I'm like, that's good. Anyways, all that to say is that Meghan just can't seem to get that. And so everything seems like her personal side because she can't really separate it. So it just doesn't really work. Marilyn says, hi, Brittany. Love your videos. You make so much sense. Thank you, Marilyn. I think I maybe read that one already. Oh, well. Yeah. So Gretchen first says, there was a Burberry collection with Hive Grove released with the pop-up shop at the Chelsea Flower Show, Exhibit A on how to succeed in marketing. Yes. Meghan's filled in a world where she could hire the best marketing people and she doesn't hire them. It's sort of crazy. Carte Blanche says the pictures are better quality than Meghan's. Yeah. Yeah. So Rid says she's going to hang on to him and that stupid title like death for as long as she can. Even if she loses that title, she will be brazen enough to keep using it and call herself a princess. Yeah, because it's the only thing she has. It's the only thing she has. This has become abundantly apparent. This is the only reason anything is selling. Because what she's hasn't done, which has been a complete and utter detriment to Meghan, is that through this business venture, is that she hasn't really proven that she has anything good. Her show was mediocre. Her products are mediocre. Everything is mediocre. The only reason she gets attention is because of who she married in that title. And that's it. She has not done herself, I think, any favors. That's why she should best go just by Meghan Markle. Just embrace the Markleness and go by Meghan Markle. Or at the beginning, start off with Meghan Sussex instead of trying to be always the Duchess of Sussex. That's been sort of her Achilles heel, is relying way too much on that title. All right. And we do have some big here. We do have Anna Cedrone. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I don't know why she just doesn't become a florist. She can supply her own flowers and live quietly. She really needs to downsize. I agree. I agree. Harry and Meghan live well beyond their means and capabilities. Neither one of them are in the industry they're trying to be, they're not creatives, they're not business people. They are literally just an exiled prince and his wife. That's all they have. And while they can trade off the royal family, and that's how they made basically the majority of their money, they don't have much else. They really don't have much else. And they could live perfectly quietly and very safely in a different state, a different area. Although I will say it's kind of interesting. One of the stories that comes out, because Jennifer Aniston had a stalker issue recently. And what and she apparently, even though she loves her Bel Air estate, is considering she has a Montecito place that she has renovated and is close to moving into. So it sounds like some people from LA are going to be moving up to Montecito. So Harry and Meghan may have been, like, you could say, a bit ahead of the curve. But really, because of how, like, it's so challenging to film in California anymore, that more and more states are offering good incentives to film. And so Hollywood really is breaking down. It's sort of falling apart, like, because of the strikes and how poorly properties have performed and stuff like that. There are not as much jobs anymore in LA for industry people. So the industry is slowly starting to, like, get out of the Los Angeles area. And so, really, at the end of the day, Harry and Meghan hooked themselves to a sinking ship by going to Hollywood and making such a big fuss about Hollywood, because Hollywood is just sort of a cesspool of nastiness. Like, everybody's in it for themselves. They're all willing to sell their soul for a piece of attention and stuff, and to get the right role and everything. It's sort of fascinating. What have I been Oh, I was watching something entirely different, and they were talking about t I can't remember his first name, Brian Robbins, I think it is, and how he's connected to the Nickelodeon guy, Dan Schneider. And there's a whole Quiet on the Set piece about Dan Schneider, basically, and his harassment of female staffers, and how he would make some of the young people on the Nickelodeon shows do some things that could be considered, like, kids might not see the sexual side of what he was trying to do, but adults certainly could. And he was putting that in his shows, and it's like, those are the people Harry and Meghan are hanging out with, is Brian Robbins, and he was good friends with Dan Schneider. And they were together, I think, partly on, like, Paramount or something. I can't quite remember. Anyways, but they were on a show together, and later were still connected. And the more, like, everything is exposed, and somewhat with Me Too and everything like that, you just realize how what an ugly world Hollywood is. And the more Harry, and particularly Meghan, attaches herself to that, because that's what she wants so badly, is that world, and that world to give her validation. But it's an ugly world. Like, why wouldn't you want to be validated by the royal family instead? Like, why not have global validation? Why does this small cadre of people in Hollywood, who are really, at the end of the day, mostly just nasty people, why is that so important to you, rather than having, let's say, the global accolades that you could as a royal? Everybody loves Catherine. There's even way back in the day when I've been royal watching for a long time, and there was this, I don't wanna say it was a poem, but it was a little write-up about people who watch, like, a lot of the royals, and what basically everybody thinks about certain people. And one of them was, everybody loves Crown Princess Victoria, and everybody does love Crown Princess Victoria. Her fashion can use some work, but you can genuinely tell she loves her job, she loves what she does, she loves her people, she loves her country, and all these sorts of things. And there is an appreciation that comes with that, and just a general public love. Meghan is so desperate for the shallow vein and vapid love that Hollywood gives, that she's needlessly, I think, throwing herself at the industry just constantly, because she just can't seem to, I think, envision a world without Hollywood. That is what she has been so desperate for since she was a child. She just can't give that up. And again, to be honest, like, what is the point of that? The people there aren't nice, vast majority of them. Most of the people who actually keep their sanity move out of Hollywood. They don't stay in it, they move out of it. They go to Idaho, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, New York in some ways as well. They like to move out, because to stay in Hollywood is to be in the cesspool of nastiness. And although Meghan, again, and Harry are in Montecito, a little bit outside, but she wants desperately, again, to be in that clique. and she hasn't been accepted there. But she had such a bigger clique. This is the crazy thing about Meghan Markle, guys. And she had the biggest, most exclusive clique in the world that she was a part of. And then she brought herself down to Hollywood. Like she literally like, oh no, the royals aren't good enough. Even though everybody in Hollywood knows royals are better than they are. The royals weren't good enough for Meghan Markle. She needed Hollywood. And that Hollywood pursuit is what has, I think, sort of destroyed her. But she could have lived a quiet, perfectly normal life, like Anna said, perfectly normal life somewhere else. But no, no, she needed desperately that Hollywoodness. We have Multiscan, who became a YouTube member. Why, thank you so much, Multiscan. And we also have Lizzie B, gifted 1 Royal News Network membership. Why, thank you so much, Lizzie. That is so kind of you. And Tam Fitz says she has sunk too low to make a comeback now. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Kind of thing. And yeah, so Blue Ella, this is an interesting thing that we could talk about as well. Ella says, Eugenie is spearheading something for the King's Foundation for 35-year-olds. As the foundation is celebrating its 35th anniversary, there's a possibility the York sisters will be working royals. So I've always been a fan of this idea. They desperately need more working royals, to be honest. We only have, especially younger working royals. Right now, we only have older working royals and like quite old in some instances. They really need a younger crowd here. And I think Eugenie and Beatrice would be great additions. I don't think they'll be full-time working royals, but could they be good working royals? Yes. And so she's doing something 35 under 35. You know, Meghan's 40 by 40 thing. But we'll actually get some results from this 35 by 35. I still have no clue what happened to the 40 under 40 thing or 40-40 thing that Meghan Markle was going to do. It sort of was there and it was gone. So Carol says, Meghan is so arrogant. She refuses to listen to her team and follow their advice to be successful. Exactly. She could be successful. And I'm sure she has people she could hire to tell her the right things to do, but she just doesn't want to do them to her own detriment. Sandrine says, please, where did you get your sublime diamonds? Why, thank you. So I got these from Ana Lucia. So these are my 2-carat studs. They actually screw in, which is nice. They're lab created diamonds. Same thing with, if the camera adjusts here, the 7-stone eternity band at the bottom. The crown one I got from Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace, but the other ring I got from there. So Ana Lucia, so ANALUCIA. And if you use code ROYAL20, you do save 20%. So we do have Water says, off topic, what do you think about Harry always missing his son's birthday while he cried about his father missing his and how he will be better? So we don't know if Harry totally missed his son's birthday because Las Vegas is a pretty short flight. So he could fly there and back and be there in time for his son's birthday. But I just think the birthday excuse is just a little bit ridiculous. Obviously, for the coronation, it was just because he couldn't be there by himself, apparently, without his wife. He had to get home as soon as possible because, you could bring your son to the coronation and then you wouldn't have to miss his birthday. You could all be together instead of whatever the heck he did. Whatever the heck he did. It was just crazy. Oh, Smiley says, I would just love if Princess Catherine released a jar of honey or something as a fundraiser, LOL, through Charles's company. That would be awesome. I could totally see that. And Catherine's brother, James, also raises honeybees. And so that could be something they do together as well. So very, very well. So I was like trying to get down to the bottom here, but so many things. So we've covered a lot of as ever with Meghan and everything. And let's move on, though, to some fun royal news, which is that apparently Catherine Williams' dog had puppies, which I think is just so cute. She had quads, apparently. She had 4 puppies, which I love. And so they are already in love. This is according to The Sun. And the Prince and Princess of Wales's dog, Orla, has given birth to quads. The royal couple's children are already said to have fallen in love with the black Cocker Spaniel's pups. So there's Orla, down there. Very cute. And then her with Charlotte. So it looks like she is a mom puppy now. Mother and babies are doing well, but there will be no official notice placed on an easel outside Buckingham Palace. Although I think it would be fun if they did share that they're like the puppies that their dogs had. So when it comes to the Crown Prince and Princess of Norway, their dog has also had puppies, and they shared some of the pictures of the puppies. And I'm really hoping that maybe Catherine and William do that too. I think that would be kind of awesome for them to do. I would love to see pictures of the little puppies. They would be so adorable. Our insider said we always thought the patter of tiny feet in the Wales' household had ended, so the sound of tiny paws will have to do. Yes, the pitter patter of little paws. I have my own little paw behind me. I know you guys can't see her. Wait. No. Can you see her? I don't know if you can see her. She's like, I don't want to disturb her too much because then she might go, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Water says, "You think they'll keep them?" They could keep one of them. I don't know if they'll keep all of them though. Kyle says, "Imagine getting a Wales' dog. People will be lining up." Yes. Alana says, "Our dog had puppies growing up and it was such a fun experience." Yeah, I would have loved to have like puppies at some point because they'd be so cute. They would be so, so cute. But no dice yet. So, so exciting for the Wales' kids. I'm so excited for them. Demetra says kisses to Pippa. Yes. She is seeping. She's seeping. Meep says I can only handle one dog. That would be yes, puppy announcement outside Buckingham Palace with signatures of vets. I think that would be awesome. I would think that would be awesome. Just I think people would love it. It would bring a smile to people's face. So I really do hope they share a picture because I think it would just be something that I think would be encouraging to people and everything. So I would just really think they should do it. They should do it. But we shall see. So we'll move over to this because I thought this would maybe be fun to go over real quick. Meghan's breaks protocol. The 16 times Meghan broke royal protocol. So I thought it'd be interesting to see what the Daily Mail picks out because I did a whole thing about royal blunders. So wearing a veil as a divorcee, the Queen disapproved of Meghan opting to wear a 16-foot veil. The veil overall though was just bad. It was just so bad. It was too long. Way too long. So it's just that would be more my issue. But I understand wearing white for a second marriage. Yeah, wearing bright white was a little much. I think she could have been totally better going with a more muted color. I think that would have been better. But we didn't do that. Ripped jeans. Yeah, well, I mean, she wasn't technically a royal yet, although they were probably pseudo engaged or something at this point. So the ripped jeans, yeah. No tights. That is a royal no, although that had kind of slowed down by the time Meghan entered in. Oh, sheer gown. Now this was a big deal because the gown was sheer. And so how was her modesty protected? We don't know. Holding hands. Yes. It says there's not an official rule about PDA, but royals usually keep it to a minimum because they're working representatives of the monarchy. Exactly. Harry and Meghan treat every event they go to as if it's a date. It is not a date. It is not a date. So stop holding hands. Crossbody bags. This isn't a strict rule, but Kate has always used clutch bags since you aren't allowed to offer a handshake to a royal without them offering it first. Yes. Okay. I hated the crossbody bags that Meghan wore because they made her look a little bit sloppier and things too casual. I think Catherine, I liked that she always had a clutch because it just seems classier. I don't like even shoulder bags when royal women wear them because I just think it tends to be a little bit more, you could say messy. Off the shoulder dress. Yeah. Because that dress wasn't supposed to be off the shoulder. Second official appearance after her royal wedding, she tore up the royal rule book. Yeah, she did not care about the royal rule book at all. So you can't cry about the criticism if you're not following the rules. Going hatless, yes. Queen Elizabeth was a firm believer that ladies should keep their heads covered during official engagements, but Meghan did not. Dressing in black, yes, because black is only for mourning as royals. And Meghan did it a lot. Trousers at Wimbledon. Oh, and those trousers were awful. They're terrible. But for official appearances, skirts and dresses are the usual dress code, which is what Catherine opted to wear while attending the event alongside Meghan. Meghan wore a Panama style hat to the event, which she carried, as hats are discouraged in the royal box because they could block the view of people sitting behind them. Super short headlines, yes. She had definitely a couple of those too. Catherine had a bit of those when she was a younger royal as well. Going barefoot. Well, they were on the beach, to be fair. Dark nail polish, that was a big one. Wearing Dior to a royal christening. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot that was Dior because Meghan had an obsession with Dior, and Dior should run far away from Meghan. All right, and blue eyeshadow. Don't think that's a particular issue. Beauty guidelines during her time as royal seemed to subset breaking tradition. Yeah, she broke tradition whatever way she could, and then yet at the same time, which was really weird, is well, like she wants people to follow her directions for things. It's just very hypocritical. So just thought that would be fun to go into real quick. I was curious. Yeah, Carol says Diana wore blue eyeliner. Yeah, I don't understand the blue eyeliner bit. I wouldn't think that's much of an issue. I would say a bigger issue is the very, very flashy baby shower she had in Manhattan. That was an issue. That was an issue. So let's move on to this is an interesting story. So this is more of a could delve into the realm of politics, but Princess Elizabeth of Belgium could be kicked out of Harvard. So there is sort of a currently right now a Harvard like the Trump administration is doing some sort of Harvard ban of foreign students. And so she's completed her first year of her master's degree, but the Trump administration's crackdown may jeopardize her studies. So this is Princess Elizabeth. She's lovely, seems very, very cute. Has completed her first year, but the ban imposed on Donald Trump by the Trump administration on foreign students studying there could jeopardize her continued attendance. So the U.S. President's administration revoked Harvard's ability to enroll international students on Thursday and is forcing current foreign students to transfer to other schools or lose their legal status in the U.S. while also threatening to expand the crackdown to other schools. So it says, a spokesperson for the palace says Princess Elizabeth has just completed her first year. The impact of the decision will only become clearer in the coming days and weeks. We are currently investigating the situation. So when it comes to like foreign visas, your school is sort of a huge thing. So it's just fascinating to see that this is having an impact, let's say, on Princess Elizabeth, because I think she's lovely. I think she is like seems super duper sweet. And so that this is coming down, I think is a little sad for her. And says we are analyzing this at the moment and we'll let things settle. A lot can still happen in the coming days and weeks, said the palace's communications director, Xavier Barrett. Elizabeth is studying public policy at the 2-year master's program, and according to the school's university website, broadens students' perspectives and sharpens their skills for a successful career in public service. The princess is heir to the Belgian throne and the eldest of the 4 children of King Philippe and Queen Matilda. Before attending Harvard, she earned a history degree in politics from the University of Oxford. So I think that's quite crazy that she could be actually kicked out of the United States over this. And there's still time. I mean, I don't know what she would definitely have a diplomatic visa here, or she definitely has a diplomatic passport, probably a student visa, but she might have a diplomatic one too, given that she represents the Belgian throne. That's sort of a huge issue and part of it. So yeah, they'll be evaluating it and seeing where things go. But sort of an interesting little tidbit about royalty there for sure. And I guess we I feel like I'm missing something Harry and Meghan did this week. But at the same time, I'm trying sometimes not to focus on them quite as much just because it doesn't always seem, let's say, prudent to. Sometimes I'm like, I just get bored with them. And I'm like, let's talk about the other royals. But there's been some things like it hasn't been a super busy week, you could say. And it's been somewhat slow. Catherine and William obviously also went to Scotland and did the kind of, what do you call it? The christening of the HMS Glasgow. So that is always fun to see. And I was like watching the Scandinavian christenings the other day, and I was like, oh, these are so fun. These are so fun. Because I'm debating whether or not I'm planning a trip for next month, being able to go over and to Sweden for the christening of Princess Ian's. So I'm sort of debating it. But we shall. So there they are. She's in a Susanna London coat dress here. And her hat is from the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. If you remember that particular hat, it was the one that she wore for the first day. I do have a very blurry picture of them on the balcony. I need to work on sort of getting a, let's say, longer one together. But it's so fun.
As we are learning from her will be invaluable in the evolution of this global combat ship, of the Royal Shipbuilding on the Clyde, our applied shipbuilding academy.
So, and her brooch that she's wearing there was a gift from she was given it early as part of her christening of the ship by a jewelry maker there in Scotland. So they were very excited that she did decide to go ahead and wear it.
Our applied shipbuilding academy, which many of you
Well, he's explaining to her a bit how to press it and get it. I'll try to point out to you guys where the little champagne bottle is because it's kind of hard to see.
I have the pleasure to name this ship HMS Glasgow. May God bless her and all who sail on her.
So very short and sweet and simple, which I think is quite great and grand. There it is. It's right up there if you missed it. That's right up there. So she's a sponsor for the ship, and she actually met with some of the men who were on the ship last year. And so that is something that is good to keep in mind, that this has been sort of, you could say, almost a long time coming. Love how you can hear the shutter flashes. Don't know how she walks in those heels all the time, because I have very similar shoes and they are very, very hard to walk in. She makes it look so easy, guys. So you can get a good look at her coat dress there. Oh, that was funny that I did those little things because that wasn't me. But glad that it looks like they had a good time, and they have like a little competition here.
Yes, please. Excellent. So what we have here.
So I use this when I initially came on site as part of the induction course after my first year. Pull that up and it was just scrolling.
So I think they're both trying to make these and then compare them.
Just put it down.
You race it. It's a race.
It's a race. It's a race.
Love how you can get a good look at her earrings there. That belonged previously to Princess Diana. So that's all we got from the Royal Family channel. And we do also have something I just was pulling up on X, trying to actually find something different. But I ended up finding something exciting as well here, because we do have Princess Ariane has finished high school officially. So she was at UWC Adriatic in Italy. That is where she finished her schooling. So her sister went to UWC in Wales, and so has Princess or Infanta Leonor Infanta Sofia of Spain is also graduating from the Wales location, which I think is called the Atlantic. So instead of the Adriatic, we do also have the Atlantic. Princess Leonor, her older sister, went there. And then Princess Adrianne's older sister, Princess Alexia, also went to the Wales school. So she decided, though, she wanted to go to Italia to study. But I did just want to find here real quick, and hopefully I can. There are pictures of Catherine getting off the plane and William greeting her. And so I don't know if I can find them real quick here or not. But we will attempt to find them because I just thought it was really, really cute for Catherine and William. Let's see if it comes up or not. As she got off of the plane, because he got out of the car, gave her a little kiss on the cheek. So, of course, I cannot find it now, but we will look for it later. But thought that was really cute and sweet for them to do. And somebody has woken up from her nap. So, hi, Miss Pippa. Hi. Yeah, okay. You gonna help me? No, licking my nose is not helping me. Oh, sweet girl. Sweet baby girl. Our Fire Elemental says, Brittany, your hair looks very pretty. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Miss Pippa, everybody's saying hi to you. Oh, careful. Careful. Okay, never mind. Oh. Never mind. I was trying to get... That wouldn't work. Let's put you down. Yes. Oh, and Wildcat Wilma says, which is true, King Charles will be opening Parliament in Canada. Yes, he will be opening it, I think, on Tuesday, although he arrives on Monday. I almost went to cover that event, but didn't end up. Water says, how old is Pippa? She is 8. She will be 9 this year. And then Lolly asked, what type of dog is Pippa? She is a Yorkie poo. So she's part Yorkie, part poodle. Like, I haven't done the official test, so I don't know how much is which, but yeah. Oh, Princess Goose says, I can tell you're a great pup mom because of how lovingly Pippa treats you. Why, thank you. Yeah, she does love me. We are simpatico quite a bit. So I love her. She's the sweetest thing. Although she does have a penchant for adventure and has when we were having Mother's Day weekend, we had the small dogs with us, and my parents have a fenced in area around their pool, and Pippa got out of the fenced in area. And so we were all yelling for her, couldn't find her. Like, she squeaked out in like a minute flat and she was gone. And we kept calling her and calling her. I had to get in my car and he was driving down the road. And then she just bounds up as happy as can be from one of the neighbors' driveways. And I'm like, Pippa, what are you doing? And she's like, I was just exploring, just having fun. Oh my goodness. Lisa says, your new setup is stunning. You look radiant. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Kyle says, you are right. Hollywood is dying. Just read all the places stars live now. Yeah, exactly. Hollywood is dying. And it's sort of been a self-inflicted death in many ways because Hollywood has sort of decided, they went the woke route, which I think damaged their storytelling abilities. And, I was somebody who used to go to movie theaters every weekend. I went to one movie in the last year, and that was Nosferatu. There's maybe one or two more that sounded kind of interesting, but I don't go to movies anymore. And the reason I don't go to movies is because there's just no real reason to go to movies. They just don't look good to me. And I know there's a couple people are excited about, but I hardly ever watch even like new television shows or anything. I did start watching The Pit. So that's something that I did as well. P Pacific says, Brittany, did you wear one of your royal fashion purchases to yesterday's wedding? A hat. I did not wear a hat. I did not wear a fascinator. So I was a friend's plus one. So I didn't want to wear anything that was like super flashy or super like anything. I wanted to be muted. And unfortunately, I was like at the end of the table where I was like closest to like where people like where the bride and groom were dancing at points. And I'm like, oh darn, I was like, I wish like one of the bridesmaids or groomsmen was there. So I was like, in case I end up in the pictures, I'm like, I hope things look okay. But I almost wore, so I tried it on for the first time yesterday. And it's a little tight in the arms, but just a little finagling. We'll get there. And I also did film a fashion video yesterday, which I probably need to get up today or tomorrow because one of the fashion items is currently on sale. And I was super excited about it because I'm hoping to recreate a look of Catherine's, and that's just perfect. And I want to make sure if people want it, they can get it because it's kind of a unique piece that you don't see a ton of people make. But anyways, I did not wear something, but I do have a Susanna London dress that I got in the sample sale. And like I said, the arms were a bit too tight. Otherwise, I might have worn it. It actually was really nice. I was really impressed. I wasn't sure what to expect. There's like one little weird thing that's pulling, so you kind of get a weird dimple in the front of the dress. But it was part of the sample sale. And it was like a little over, I want to say it was like $160. And their dresses usually go for thousands of dollars, like over $1,000. So I feel like I got an amazing deal. It's bright pink and stuff. And so I can't wait to share it with you guys. And I did try on one other thing, a pair of pants that were like a centimeter away from like closing. It didn't quite close. So it did totally work for my royal look I was trying to recreate. But hopefully you guys may still appreciate it anyways, because I do have like a whole rack, and I mentioned it in the fashion video, a whole rack of clothes that we will go over at some point where I can share with you guys some of the purchases I've made and everything for various royal items because it's just fun to see. Aw. Alana says, I saw Lilo and Stitch. It was adorable. So I've never been a big Lilo and Stitch fan, so I probably won't see that one. But I did hear people liked it. But man, so the Lilo and Stitch ride in like Disney World was not my favorite. Water says, what do you think about Princess Catherine re-wearing many outfits lately? Yeah, so this is sort of an interesting thing. Maybe I want to explore in a fashion video because she has been re-wearing a lot of stuff. And like, I understand why. It's actually smart. It's very smart. Because she was gone for a year. And yes, a totally legitimate reason. She was getting cancer treatments. Totally understand. But I think it would have been in sort of poor taste for her to not work for a year and then to come out in a lot of very flashy clothes and look like she spent her whole year off, basically. And I understand the reason why she had it off. I totally get it. But it would have looked bad for her to look like she had been online shopping the entire time. It's not really a good look. So I think her re-wearing stuff is very much an indicator of that she sort of understands that she has to sort of play her cards right. And what I mean by that is just not be too flashy in her wardrobe. Utilize a lot of rewears. Now, what's been sort of fascinating with Catherine is that I feel like Catherine generally like changes her or used to change her shoes based on her outfit pretty consistently. But now, what I find sort of interesting is that she'll wear one pair of shoes for a couple of engagements and switch it to another pair of shoes for a couple of engagements and then switch it again. So it's sort of weird because she's been really she started off the year favoring her. I think the first thing she wore were a pair of boots, GMV Rossi boots. But the second thing was a Bromley and Russell or Russell and Bromley pair of pumps. And then recently it's been her Celia pumps from Ralph Lauren. And then it's been the Bisque pumps. And so it's like it's kind of funny to me that she's really sticking with like one pair of shoes for a couple of wears and then switching to a different one. I mean, that might be neither here nor there, but I felt like she was more interested in switching it up. So I'd just be curious as a reason why she is sticking with more particular things. Because honestly, with her Susanna outfit, which was blue, navy blue with white accents, I actually figured she would wear her navy pumps instead of the bisque ones. Because I'm sure she has navy pumps. I'm like positive she does. And so I was kind of surprised by that. But at the same time, I just think it's sort of a reflection of the fact that she's sort of sticking like, I don't want to change my shoes up that much. I just want to wear this one particular thing. So I just find that something to like interestingly thing to keep in mind. Wonder if I'm checking right now because I'm pretty sure she has a navy pair of GMV Rossi pumps and even a lower pair of GMV Rossi. So I'm kind of surprised she went with the Bisque, even though it's more of a neutral, and I get that, but it's also a bit surprising. So it's been fascinating sort of to see Catherine with her shoes, which I realize is just kind of a silly thing that probably nobody cares about, but I care about shoes. I am fascinated by shoes. I am a shoe girl, guys. I'm a shoe girl. I thought I was a purse girl, but no, like I find that I really like shoes. For what it's worth. It's been one of the things I've been like, yeah, I like these. So I'm just pulling it up real quick. Yeah, so for like almost her first 3 royal engagements of the year, she wore those Russell and Bromley pumps, according to Unidentified No More. And so just again reflects this kind of interesting evolution that she's had with her wardrobe. But I think it's actually, again, very smart of her to stick to a lot of rewears. Because what you don't want to do is look like you were away from work for a year and then come back and it's new thing after new thing after new thing after new thing. Then it just looks like all you did was window shop the entire day. And granted, for me, if I was sick and ill, like window shopping or even most days, window shopping is something I do for fun a lot. I peruse a lot online of things I don't really need. So, and I do need to do an entire episode, guys, which I've been promising for a long time. But I am starting a little bit of physical therapy, so I'm hoping maybe it makes my foot a little bit better so I can do, because I feel like I struggle with the high heels quite a bit. But I also broke my left foot, and so my left foot just doesn't move like it should in some ways. And so that makes it sort of hard, especially for the higher stuff and everything. My foot can hurt more easily. But I do also have an exciting addition to my shoe wardrobe or shoe video, which will be coming soon, which I'll tease, which is that I got the pair of shoes that Meghan Markle stole from or allegedly stole, I should say, from the, oh gosh, what is it called? I want to say it's Wrightsman's, but I don't think that's how you pronounce it. But the department store that she worked with, and she demanded this pair of Aquazzura shoes for this photo shoot and then stole them. Or took them afterwards, I should say, allegedly. I actually got those from The Real Real. I got a great deal on them. And they even came with the original box and dust bag and stuff, which doesn't ever happen. And so I got them on one foot, but I could not get them on the other foot. And it may surprise some of you guys, but it's not the one she wore to her engagement pictures. Everybody thinks it's those. It's not those. So that'll be an interesting piece because I like to check some things out. But I got them on The Real Real for super cheap. Although I'm like, there's part of me that's still wondering, are these real? Are these fake? I think they're real. Why would they be fake? Oh, the pineapple on the back is a little different than the new ones. And they've changed the box in some ways. In some ways, it's also the same. But I was like looking online last night. I was like, did I get real ones? Because I got fake stuff from The Real Real before. So if you're ever curious on The Real Real, yes, they do sell fake things sometimes. Christian Dior shoes, you got to be careful because I got some for another video. And Creative Chaosify, how is your shop mind going? It's going okay. I need to get better at, again, what I really want to do with that is to show more of the royal fashion items. And so the shop mind makes it a little bit easier. They have more of a variety of people I can pull from. And I kind of like that it's more stagnant and stuff. So with this video I filmed yesterday, hopefully I can get it edited and out today. And y'all can see and find some of those options, because one of the things is it's a long blazer, and those might seem weird, but like a really long one, I feel like you can't find those in the States. Those are kind of unique and interesting. So I ended up getting a great deal on it. And then I forgot I had something with my credit card where I got an additional amount off of it. And I was like, wow, I really got a good deal on this coat. And it's actually really gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. So Clyde says, be careful copying other people's styles. Meghan copies supermodels, but she doesn't have the same body type and always looks ridiculous. Keep that in mind. I do. So I don't get everything, but I like looking at the styles, and like shoes, I feel like are easy. But I think it's fun because it's fun to see the actual clothes and what the quality is and the fabric is and everything, because it's one thing to just see them. And people want to emulate the clothes, but they don't know, are the clothes any good? Do they look good and everything? Ooh, Caroline says, anyone have good movies to watch? Doing the long haul from Australia to Europe in 8 weeks. Ooh, that's so hard because it's like, it's one of those things. But I mean, one of my favorite movies is Clue. I like Pirates of the Caribbean. I like older movies, let's be honest. All right. Opinion says pants are in the US are trousers. Yes, they are trousers. Cute Ruth says, good evening from Germany. Just tuned in. Sorry, I'm late. Yes. Marjorie says, Meghan never rewears. Do you think Catherine rewears to get a little back? No, gosh, no. Again, there's always this desire, I think, for some people to have a Catherine and Meghan tit for tat all the time. I really think it's mostly a media concoction. I don't think it really happens as much as people, you could say, want it to happen. But Meghan does, I think, probably rewear, some stuff at home, but we don't see Meghan quite as much as we see Catherine in some ways. So because of that, we think everything is new because we haven't seen it before. But I think Meghan does spend quite a lot on clothes. And Catherine, I'm sure, has a casual wardrobe that we don't see that much. So like the stuff she buys are like work things. So like that Susanna London coat dress, she would not wear that on a way out to, let's say, like get groceries or something. She'd wear her jeans and a sweater. So we don't see those quite as much. Bertasso says, yes, your waves are really particularly gorgeous today. Big hugs to Miss Pippa. Love her so much. Why, thank you. Thank you. Rich says, I also love how Queen Mary does rewears and redesigns for a lot of hers. She does. And I think she does a great job. And it's one of those sort of fun things that I think she has an eye for fashion. Although some of her looks I have not loved quite as much, but she is creative with them. Danielle says, hi, Brittany. It's great. Nice to hear you love movies. Are you still going to review books and movies? Also, have you seen Call the Midwife, British period drama? Just curious. Thanks, Brittany. So I don't tend to watch period dramas too often, but I still, yes, do want to do that. I'm almost done with James Middleton's book. I was like reading it while I was traveling, and then once I got home, I didn't finish it. So I do want to do some reviews on books because I do like, and I want to read more books, but sometimes I'm like, I have some downtime and I'm like, oh, I want to finish my cross stitch, or oh, I just don't want to think for like an hour. And so, oops, sorry. I wish I had a bit more, you could say, kind of figured out a bit more balance. Haven't quite gotten that yet. So, but we will be doing that. Meep says clothes aren't as important as health and family. They're not, but as a royal, it is sort of a big part of your job is how you look. Water says, I love the rewears. They are lovely colors, so it's great to see them out again. Plus, she'll restyle them with different shoes, jewelry, and hats. Yes. She's not, let's say, quite as creative, Catherine, as some other royal ladies, but at least she's not Maxima. Maxima has some lovely pieces and some just gosh awful things that should be burned. Melinda says, I like the fact that she rewears. It makes her relatable and genuine. She actually loves what she wears and showcases that it's okay to rewear and not be wasteful. Yes. So Mittens for Kitten says maybe she has to represent certain brands consistently. She actually does not. So that's not a something royals do. So she's not allowed to take freebies. She's not allowed to have, like, she has relationships with particular brands. Catherine does, but she is not allowed to, let's say, just wear those particular ones are on some sort of timetable or something. Mary Marr, excellent live stream. You provided an excellent analysis of Meghan's failures in re-business. Yes. Christina says Catherine could be experiencing side effects from surgery and cancer, and she finds she's in less pain wearing them in a row for a few days. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's just an interesting thought. I just find that kind of because they're like, if you exchange the navy for the bisque colored suede Gianvito Rossi pumps, how much different could they be? So Marjorie says, I thought the neutral shoes really didn't go with the outfit. I thought better to go with the navy or white. It was odd. It didn't match the bag either. Yeah, it was kind of weird, to be honest. Caroline says, I'm a shoe addict too, Brittany. Last count, I had 80 pairs. A lot, never worn. Yeah, a little bit. So one of the things I want to do, I don't know if I'll have enough room in the other room where my kind of extended closet is for the fashion content, is I would like to get a display where I can see all my shoes. Because I have them in like these drawer things. But to be honest, guys, I don't see them half the time. So I forget I have a certain pair of shoes. Or I had this one pair, and they're one of my favorite pairs. They're a Stuart Weitzman pair. Actually, I wouldn't mind looking on the Real and finding them in more colors. So it's a platform like cork sandal with a navy suede strap. They're so cute, and I forgot I had them. And then there was the other pair. So I got this great deal on these Jimmy Choo shoes. I got them like 75% off or something, or more, 80% at like Nordstrom Rack, because they were on sale and they were additional, I think, 25% off. And then I forgot I had them because I put them in this room and they got lost there. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, Miss Brittany. Because I want to be able to see my shoes. So I can really have my dream closet one day is to have a huge section for shoes. Even though I have all these heels I don't wear. Even when I go to church, I don't tend to wear them that much because they hurt my feet. But they look beautiful. So, Teaspoon, it says, I used to wear 4 to 3 inch heels all the time. Years ago, I would walk around on your tiptoes when not in heels like around your house, and that's how you got used to wearing them. It really did help. That's a good idea. I also think too, so I have pretty high arches. And so my understanding is if you have high arches, you're more likely to roll your feet. So it does make it a little bit harder in heels. Catherine actually doesn't. I remember seeing a picture of her. I remember going, wow, she has a really, really low arch there. But it actually helps support her foot as she walks in those heels. So Bobby says, Brittany, I also struggle with wearing high heels. As much as I love how they look, I'm also short. Yeah, I love how they look so much and I want to wear them all the time. And then I'm like, they hurt my feet. And I'm also worried about tripping. So this is the thing. Like when I go to church, I go to the first service, I go to the small group. And so it's sort of hard because that requires a decent amount of walking on different surfaces. And for me, there's this one pair of shoes I got from Bicester Village, which I do need to show you guys because I promised to show you guys what I got from Bicester Village in December. And I was so excited to get these pair of shoes because I had seen them and I wanted them. And then they got off the website. I was like, darn. But then they were at Bicester Village, 40% off. And I'm like, yes. But I want to wear them, but they're pretty tall. They do have a platform, so that makes it a little more safe. But it's like, it's hard to, especially on uneven surfaces. And sometimes if I don't get to church early enough, I do have to walk on grass to get to the church. And so they don't work. I want to wear them all the time. Fire Elemental said, haha, maybe the dogs or kids hid her shoes and she couldn't find them last minute. LOL. Or chewed them up. That would be funny. Susan says, I love to see the rewears because usually the person covering the event shows pictures of when the outfit was last worn. Love seeing the memories. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, and always good. So Moon Leon says, congrats on your channels. I enjoy it a lot. I am from Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain. Well, hello. Hello. So Abertasso says, Brittany would love a sort of through your fashion rack. Look through your fashion rack would be so fun. Yeah, it would be a little bit crazy. So Lisa says, is the foot you broke now bigger than your other foot? So it is slightly. So like when it comes to these particular shoes, Meghan's that I got, they're lace up. And so because they're lace up, they you kind of have to kind of force your foot in, and my left foot just doesn't go in very easily. It's also, I think, slightly shorter now than my right foot. So I have all sorts of foot issues. So I can explain to you all the fun foot things. But yeah, they're definitely different sizes. Not really. They're the same size, but there's a slightly difference in the composition. I also have a bone spur now on my left foot. So I have like a little bump protruding that's from like excess bone growth after like the bones fuse and stuff. The bones can tend to grow more after breaks like this. So I do have extra bone now. So I have so much bone. So yeah. So Water says, when will the RNN merch go live? So my plan is May 30th, I think. So Princess Goose says, how did you tell that you got a fake item from the real? So when it comes to, so one of the things that I find interesting is that so much of the royals have these like plain Christian Dior pumps, because I wanted to do of which royal shoe was the most comfortable, really. That's kind of the goal. And when it comes to the Christian Dior, they don't sell the plain pumps online. They only sell them in store. And so like I never see them. So it was like I was looking at the Real to see if I could buy them online, because obviously I'm not near a Christian Dior store. And so I happened to see the regular pumps. And so I was like, ooh, I'll get those. They arrived. And I was like looking at them going, like, the quality was not bad, but the CD on the back of the shoe, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so fake. Because I have actual Dior shoes. One I got on like a great sale at Nordstrom Rack, and it says Dior with a star. It doesn't say CD, and it looked cheap, the CD. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so totally fake. And you can actually see how when it comes to certain shoes, how they actually sell them on the website can tell you whether they're real or fake. So the fake ones, they sell for around the $100 range, and the real ones, they sell for like $300 or more generally. So I just happen to, it helps to know enough about the real brand to go, oh, this is real, this is fake. And honestly, I just didn't even think anybody would care enough about plain Christian Dior pumps to fake them. And I should have waited, because they said, oh, they're new. And I'm like, oh, that's so exciting. They were new. They were maybe new, but at the same time, they were also 100% fake. So I sent them back. I did get some real pairs. I actually ended up getting 2 real pairs. One is a pair Queen Rania wore, and another one, I'm not sure, Meghan might have worn a similar pair or something. They're kind of scuffed up on the back, but they were cheap. So I did see them, though, the gold pair in that looked to be in better condition. So it depends on like how old the shoes are, what kind of condition they're in, and everything, what you can get. So I just kind of look, and it's you have to know enough about the brand to know what's real and what's fake. And my other thing would be like for the Christian Louboutin, I would not buy it from the real, because those are so highly knocked off. And the quality is hard to come by. And you can find Christian Louboutin shoes for cheap on something like the Outnet. So the Outnet is the subsidiary of Net-a-Porter or Net-a-Porter. And so if you know what Net-a-Porter is. So the Outnet has a lot of designer stuff. So I've actually gotten a lot of designer things, not a ton, but I've gotten a decent amount from the outnet, including a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes, and they were like 50% off. So you can find them. They actually had some because they're kind of cycling through. You can also go to like Saks has a good sale around this time of year. So does Neiman Marcus, and they usually have good sales in like November and stuff too. So, is it November or maybe early in the year? I can't quite remember now. Anyways, so there will be like they do cycle through their various seasons, and so you can get great deals on stuff, and you can get good deals on the real. You just have to know enough about the brand and what you're looking for to buy it. I just would avoid Christian Louboutin because of the high ability of knockoff, and some of the knockoffs I think are pretty good, but the Christian Dior ones are pretty easy to tell. So, anyways, for what that is worth. Cindy said, do you think Meghan gets a lot of freebies or outfits on loan? I think she gets a lot of freebies. I think she really, really likes them. And she definitely gets them quite a bit. And I think that's some of the problem. But yeah. Bobby says, Maxima, she either nails it or bombs. There's no real middle ground with her, but at least she's confident in what she wears. Yeah. The Lion King reject is pretty hard to stomach sometimes, but like, yeah, she's hit or miss. You either love it or you hate it. It's either way. There she has some things that are kind of like, but the rarely is it like sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, what the heck is that? But she wears it with confidence and pride. You got to give it to her. So Creative Chaosify says, I've gotten hooked on Spotify podcasts recently. Gone Medieval is my current favorite. Highly recommend. That sounds good. Gone Medieval. Oh, she's still sleeping. Okay, I'm gonna see. Okay, we'll take that off. Okay. No, I gotta go this way. Can you guys see her or not? Oh, there is she. You can see her a little bit. She moved. Miss Pip is sleeping right in that corner right there. There's an UGG blanket on the floor because I bought the UGG blankets for me, and somehow she ended up with all the UGG blankets. I don't know. Princess Goose says, if you could have any business, Brittany, what would it be? You seem to be a bit envious of all the money and help Meghan had for a brand. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Well, yeah, I mean, I would love to have that level of help because I'd love to have this be an even more robust news organization and stuff like that. Some of it's just, for me, like my biggest desire is it's better and more camera gear because there's like so many lenses I want, so many camera stuff I want to help me get the best pictures and best images and everything possible. But not all of that is gettable. So that's kind of hard because I would like to have a lot of really cool camera gear. Like, guys, just to give you an example, some of my lenses can like camera stuff is expensive. My camera gear can cost, several $1,000s easily. I do get some of this stuff used. I do try to get deals and stuff where I can, but it's expensive. And like the lens I'm using right here, guys, over $1,000, but it looks great. So, you can't mess with success, I guess you could say. You have to pay for success in some ways. But I would love to. There's like one lens I want to get. It's like $3,000. I would love to get that lens. And I'm just not in the position to get it yet. Because I think it would be the best tiara lens. That's what I'm thinking of. I think it would be a really, 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 really good tiara lens to take pictures of those. Yeah. And like that would be some of the things I would want just to get kind of more opportunities to get great pictures, great videos, so I can use them for myself. I can sell them and those sorts of things. So maybe the more I could get offered to go to big events and those sorts of things. What do you think, Miss Pippa? What do you think? Does mommy have too many shoes? Thankfully, you're not into shoes. You like your BONEs. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Aw, you're giving people yawns, Miss Pippa. So, let's see. So opinion says, which is true, the royal family are not allowed to be working royals and also deal with companies. That is where Harry and Meghan planning to do before they left. Exactly. And that's sort of why they got kicked to the curb, you could say in some ways. Jen says, heading into winter here in Australia, a long line blazers are everywhere. Have you considered doing a copy of Royal Looks section on your shop mind for affordable dupes? Yes. I do have that. My question is, I'm not quite sure at this point how to, let's say, advertise it, because it's like, do I advertise it if this looks like something Catherine has, but you have no clue what it's referencing? Or do I do individual pictures of outfits where I'm like, oh, this is a dupe there? That's kind of where I'm kind of hitting and missing. So Tam Fitz says, Brittany, loved seeing you on Dan Wooten show. Would you consider doing collabs with other YouTubers? I have considered it, but sometimes I'm like, I'm not, don't really have any plans to at this point. Kind of trying to see where things go. Because not everybody's style is my style and everything. So just trying to suss out which direction I want to go in. And sometimes too, guys, I go so fast I can't even keep up with myself. Oh man. Liz says high heels are absolutely elegant. I wear them all the time, but now no more than 2 inches. Yeah, they really are. They really are elegant. Wendy says, what would you buy in Florence, Italy? That's an interesting question. Because my initial thought, at least for if you were going to Venice, get Venetian glass. Venice is known for glass making, so I'd get Venetian glass. I'm not sure what Florence is known for. It's been a while since I've been to Florence. Obviously, go and see the David statue and see the Birth of Venus, which I haven't seen. I need to see the Birth of Venus. I have seen the David statue. I don't know. Try to find something. My suggestion would be, I mean, it's known for being kind of a cultural centerpiece of Italy in some ways, because you had the Medicis, and you have obviously Niccolo Machiavelli came from there, and Leonardo da Vinci and stuff like that. So I would lean more towards something related to art, but I'm not sure what exactly would be the best option. But if you're going to Venice, get Venetian glass. That would be my suggestion. Bertasso says, real history, fashion, and business knowledge, but also learn so much from you about like your shopping experiences. The lives are so fun. Always help me get my Saturday off on a good note. Thank you. You are so welcome. Bobby says, hi, Pippa. Yes. She's like, why, mommy, do you keep talking to the screen? I need to go and do my business. She does need to do business here before too long. So we will wrap this up in a second. So Water says, where do you get your cameras? At B&H? I can get them from Best Buy. There's a local camera shop in my area that I'll get them from. Like my R3, my Canon R3, I got used from a local camera shop that resells things. Because at least with Canon stuff, you can't really resell it. I did also get a great open box deal from Best Buy for a Canon R that came with a lens that actually ended up working really well when I went to the Cartier exhibition. So it works pretty well. And so I have a couple, but it's like, it's hard to kind of, because I want to try to find good deals, but you also want to get something that's in good shape. So it all depends, but the used stuff I've gotten from that camera store have been really, really good. One of the things I want to get, the 28 to 70 lens is what I think is what I want to get. It's very expensive. Maggie says, Brittany, will you recommend a book, okay, British history, one that isn't boring, or anyone in the chat able to suggest? Ooh, I'll have to think about that one. So there's actually a series, which is actually, I thought, pretty good. So I haven't read through the whole thing. That's by how many here? You can find them used too, by Peter Ackroyd. So he goes through and does a let's see if the camera focuses. So this is a history of England from the Battle of Boyne to the Battle of Waterloo. So he does various sections of British history. So he'll start at the beginning and go to the end. So it's a good kind of, I think, kind of overview of all of British history. I need to read through them myself. I started on the initial one and haven't had a chance to keep going yet, but it's just a good way. Sometimes it's good to get an overview, and then when you have the overview, then you can kind of dig in deep. But there's like, I want to say 4 or 5 of these. So, and I mean, I got this one used. So the fonts, not bad. So I found them pretty enjoyable. So, Babette says leather goods are big in Florence. Good to know. Good to know. Tammy says get leather. Awesome. That's always good to know. So, because you never know which ones, because a lot of cities do have something that they're specialized in. So I always try to get that. Lola La says, is it true that Meghan is selling her clothes? If so, why? Is it true that Princess Diana's clothes are being auctioned? If so, where? Yes, I heard they're being auctioned. Diana's clothes. I'm not that interested in that. So some people are really interested. I don't really care. Oh yeah, and Alison Ware, she has great books too. Very interesting, well read, well written, I think. So, but yeah, is Meghan selling her clothes? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Some people think she's selling them on eBay. I really don't think that's the case. Anyways, guys, we will go ahead and wrap this up. So, guys, my computer is telling me low on battery. We do have one real quick thing here. Dr. M for $4.99. Do you have an Amazon wish list? It would be a great way for us to participate and invest. I haven't, but I can definitely try to create one if you all are ever interested. Because I mean, for me, it's mostly camera gear. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into making all this happen all the time. And so if you guys would ever be interested in that, I can definitely do that because that would be a real blessing to what we do here. But of course, it is totally up to you. So guys, I do appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for all your support. It really does mean so much because this was definitely a dream and it's so exciting to see it happen. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Memorial Day, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye.